welcome back to another episode of Catch That, where we break down albums, artists, and eras and other topics of R&B. I am Naturally Elise, and that is my brother.
JR.
And we are the R&B representatives. And today we are very happy to bring very dope sister who has a lot of wonderful music things going on, which I'm gonna have her tell you about in a second. And just happy we were on her show, and we are so happy to have her here to discuss a whole album. But before we get into that, that is Miss Q Lynn. Hey.
Hey, what's up, y'all? What's going on with the energy? Giving me that energy. I love the intros. You did that. I love that. Yes, ma'am. You did that. What's up, y'all?
So before we get into our topic of the day, how about you tell folks a little bit about what you do, about who you are and your platforms, and go off.
Okay.
Don't be
go
bashful.
off.
Don't be modest.
Okay. It's crazy introducing yourself. It's like, what do I do? I was like, I do my stuff. But I'm I'm a professional musician. I'm a music director, pretty much, for whatever artist. We go on tour. I do all corporate gigs, studio music. I'm a studio musician and also a touring musician, but mainly is being a musical director. I've been doing that for the past 10 years. If you don't know what that is, that's basically you ensemble bands, background vocalists, get ready to prep for tour, in charge of budgets for the tour. For the band. And so been doing that for 10 years. And also a music journalist, founder of Soul Savviness. It's an independent publication. Been running it for it'll be 10 years this coming up February next year. So doing that for 10 years, independent publication, going good. We've branched out, we rebranded as a radio show. Now I do a podcast. It's on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We think we 30 something episodes in. They were the last guests that we had on. Y'all check out them episodes. It was fun, good times, good energy, good vibes. But about 30 episodes in. It's like, you get kind of lazy as a musician because you like, this is what kids do. That they got to get online and do that stuff, do drum covers and stuff like that. Then when COVID happened, it's like, all right, I get my nephew how you do TikTok. Show me on my phone how to do TikTok. How you do that? But it's a blessed life. Musician, I picked literally the two hardest career to make a living out of, and God is good. Thankfully, I don't have that horror story as even though come from humble beginnings. Playing for chicken wings and Heinekens, we did that. But yeah, it ain't. Don't have that life no more. So God is good. Amen.
Oh, brother JR.
Yes, ma'am.
How about you tell our lovely audience what we're going to be talking about today, and you start off and tell why you think it's important that we talk about it.
Okay, so today, y'all, we will be discussing Kindred the Family Soul, Surrender to Love. I am so excited to talk about this album because a lot of people don't. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people don't even talk a lot about Kindred and the Kindred the Family Soul. I always like to put Ann in it. I don't know why I do that often. Even my own mama be like, it's Kindred Family Soul. Thank you. I'm like, I'm sorry, Ma, I'm sorry. But yeah, so there's a lot of people that don't talk about them at all and don't really talk about this album. So when Q Lynn picked this album, me and Elise was so excited because we love this album down. So y'all, we're going to talk about all the songs on this album because this is a album that have a lot of songs, but they all dope. You know what I mean? So we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about what we feel about the whole thing and all that good stuff. But Q Lynn, I have to ask you our first question. When did you get into Kindred the Family Soul? How and when and where and all that good stuff?
It was, back in the day, you got to preface it like that for some of the young ones under 30. Back in the day, there was a thing with film soundtracks. Those were a big thing. They were, all through the 70s. We go Sparkle, we can go, Claudine, your girl, the lovely Miss Gladys Knight, Curtis Mayfield with, Sparkle, Isaac Hayes with, Shaft and, all those great classic soundtracks. But soundtrack in particular, the one Far Away, that's the first time. What was the name of that movie? That film? It was with some young black boys. Yes. That was the first time I heard Kindred the Family Soul, the Far Away. And I remember it being, and I was that kid to where I would watch the end of the credits all the way because they would show you the songs that were in the movie.
Come on, and movie head.
I remember looking at, I told you, that's what I do.
I love it.
I heard Far Away, they were playing it in the film, and I was like, man, this song is touching me. And then I waited to the end. I saw Asia and Fatine's name on it, and it said Kindred the Family Soul, and their songwriter credits on it, and I was hooked. But yeah, that was the first time I was introduced to them. Was on that film soundtrack in 2000, I think 2003. That when the album came out, it was like around that. I need to fact check that, look up that. Did you looking it up, Elise?
I missed.
I can't remember I think Michael B. Jordan was in it. He was a young lad. I can't remember all the other young boys that was in it, but yeah, that movie was sad too because I think a young boy died in that. But yeah, it was
Hardball.
I just remember Hardball. That's what it was.
That was it. Hardball.
Hardball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, but I couldn't. I was like, no, it started with an H.
Right, and then as soon as you said Michael B, I said, "Yep, Hardball." Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, I always remembered that song. I love that song. I fell in love with it when I watched that movie, and I looked it up and went to the music store, and it was independent, so it was hard to get that. But yeah, I think I just had the guy order it, and he went through a book. That was back in the day. He ordered the booklet. He had the booklet. He would go through there. And Hidden Beach, I think he got it directly from there. So yeah. But yeah, that was a long time ago. Exactly 20 years ago. So yeah, I remember that vividly. But yeah, all through Kindred Family Soul, the debut album is near and dear to me, but their whole albums is like my college. Like I remember like every album they put out, I played in college. I think it was The Arrival. That's when I was like, I'm here and I'm staying. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anything they put out, shows, when I was there, that's when I was like, I'm all in when The Arrival. But we talk about the debut, I can go all day on this one because it's such a, like you said, nobody really talks about it, but I think I think the beautiful thing about it is that we are talking about it and we can give them the flowers and and so that's what I want to do is I feel like them in particular, they deserve it, that much love because it's such a resonant album. And so I think they deserve that.
Yeah. So I first got into it, I didn't see that movie, so I didn't catch that. But, Far Away. Like, let me tell you who loved Far Away. Down. Adult contemporary radio. Yeah. Those stations, like they played that song a lot. Mm-hmm. But what's funny is I didn't like that song when at first. I liked it, but I liked it sonically, but the lyrics didn't really. The lyrics, and I would say this for the whole album. Like I always liked that. Like it sounds good, but I didn't connect with it as deeply. Mm-hmm. And I was like, now in retrospect, I'm like, why didn't I immediately connect with it? 2003, child, that was quite a year for your girl. That period, I was 24. So I really connect with it. I wasn't thinking about no family. I didn't really have any real world problems yet in that kind of way. And so I just didn't have that connection with it. But when I revisited the album a few years later and life had lifed and I was maturing, I like dug into this album. And then when I finally dug into it, then In This Life Together came out, and then that was the album that just busted just life wide
Busted
open.
you open, yeah.
For me, and that album made sense to me. I could relate to it. I was like, but I always loved it sonically, day one. Like the things that's going on with the instrument and the different backgrounds and arrangements and all that got me, had me at hello on the sonics of it.
Mm-hmm. So me, I got into it, and I was crazy. I didn't catch it on Hardball because I did see the movie, but I didn't catch it. I caught it with VH1 Soul.
Oh yeah, that's on One Soul too. That was
it right
VH1
there. I remember
Soul
that.
used to.
Of that channel.
Yes, they used to play it all the time, and that was like. Hell, that station went diamond up in my household because that's where we stayed at. Like, that's the station we stayed. So it was like anytime the little tree would come up or something like that, yeah. Or would it be like Something Is Life when the girl is talking or something like that? It will always, and anytime I think of VH1, so I think of Far Away. Like, I remember always seeing that video. So after hearing it so many times, my mother was finally like, well, take your behind to Circuit City and go and buy this album. Now I'm like, well, how am I buying it with no money?
You look at me. Circuit City.
Circuit City.
Oh, like, you took it back. You just lost 1997, the Generation Alpha and Generational Z. You just lost them when you said that.
Right.
You know what else song they wore out on VH1 Soul?
What?
Guapale Closer.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Guapale Closer. Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. Right. They sure did. I remember that.
Oh, yes. That was one that got played often, probably after Far Away.
They said, Love, she going to go double platinum on this channel. She said, Love going to get some hits on this one.
VH1 Soul about, India, Jill, like they were the
Vivian Green.
Vivian Green.
They used to play Roller Coaster a lot.
Yes, indeed. Indeed.
Yeah.
So when Mom did that, she was like, take your behind over there. I was like, well, how am I going to do it? I ain't got no money. She was like, you do work, so go get it. I was like, all right, fine. Fine. So I actually went to Circuit City and I went and got it. And we came back home and I had like the 6 disc CD changer in my room. But when we first get albums, we had like a big entertainment system, so we would put it into our DVD player. And when we played it, we loved it. Like, we loved it from the break. So for like the first 3 months, because it came out in February, for the first 3 months, that's all we played was this album. And clearly, y'all know I'm gonna be saying this a lot this episode, so y'all get prepared. The horns on this album get so much love, and I'm hyped that I can talk about
horns.
Right. Thank you, Elise. Thank you. So, and then this album just felt like love. It felt like love between them, felt like love for the music. It just felt like love. So it was such a dope album. And afterwards, my mama she got sick of me playing it because I would play the bottom half because a lot of that was just horns. And my mother was like, enough already. We know you like horns. Okay, fine.
It makes sense that you love horns because you're loud, and horns is like the loudest thing.
You know, see, you're adding your ad-libs in. That was cute. That was really cute.
Child, we both loud. I'm relating. We both loud. We both dramatic. We both a little special.
Yeah, that part.
Y'all are both a little special.
I'll take it. So then after that, I just loved it. And that's why I'm so glad we're talking about it. Because like Elise said, In This Life Together, once that came out, I was completely in. I was like, I'm in. They got me. I'm there. You know what I mean? I have never seen them live and I would love to. Like, I've never seen, and I've seen so many people talk about them. And finally, when I saw a performance that they did on, what's his name? Raheem Devon's. he does the,
Mm-hmm.
back then he was doing this stuff where people would actually perform on this thing, and then people would paint and all this, and they did that, and I was just like, yo, they are so ill. You know what I mean? Like, they so dope. And then to see a lot of these songs, them doing it live, it was just epic. So this album is definitely kind of dear to me because it takes me back to my last year at home before I left for college. So it's really like, it connects to me for real. So I love it. So I'm so happy we're getting into this album, y'all. So we gonna start this off. I mean, hell, the first track, River.
Man, listen, she introduced it perfectly when she said this is divinity personified.
Personified, yes.
It was, man.
I said, oh, we not playing off the break.
Set the tone with that.
Already.
So
shout outs to their oldest son, because he's on there. He's talking to the shout outs. The young lad. I think he's like in his 20s now, but yeah, Kill, is that how you pronounce his name?
Yeah, hopefully I said it right, but
grown man. Yeah, now, he got some nice songs too. I want to see what a full quick side note. I want to see what because he got a nice little. I like his vibe. He did something for the Roots picnic during quarantine. I think the first one, the 2021. It was really good. I watched it.
Okay.
It was really good.
Okay.
Yes.
So, go ahead.
For 1 second. No, I'm gonna send my flex for a second. So, this is Surrender to Love, the album sampler.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. That's what I was like. Oh, she got the sampler. Whenever you put it up there, I was like, she got the sampler.
And it has Far Away.
I had that.
Oh, okay. I found this. I found it in my store that just stole everything in the basement, and it's $1, and I found it, and I was like, "You hold on this tight, but they know what they got." But that's why I like going to white record stores, because sometimes they don't be knowing what they got. That they got some feet.
Right, they'll have a whole Curtis Mayfield collection. Like, sorry, why you got this over here? Got Minnie Riperton over here. Like, how you throwing away these classics? What you doing?
Found the Vivian Green Emotional Roller Coaster album sampler there.
It's a good one.
Ooh.
For $1 US. All right.
Nice.
Mint condition. Oh, but yeah, on the sampler, it has Far Away, Stars, and We Don't Want to Suffer, Spread the Word. Party's Over.
Nice. Nice.
And it's the full song.
Oh, nice. Come on, Flex.
I was so excited when I found it. I was like,
for a whole $1.
Yes. So now we open the album. Speaking of Vivian, let's talk about Surrender to Love, who she's on background for real. Speaking of Vivian, you know what gets me about this record? When Asia first come in with the ooh, like that deep church ooh, like baby, I was like, okay, because it's so street and how she's like harmonizing in the beginning, not harmonizing, and she's going in, and then you know what I'm saying, it's just so street, and then they come in and he's like, yo, come on, and it's like it's doing that, and it's just go in, and it's just so dope. I love this record. I love it because it shows that they're not playing. It's not no ballad or no, it's like, all right, let's groove. It sounds like a welcome to the family thing. They're opening the doors. Welcome to the cookout. You know what I mean? So I think it's dope. I just think it's so dope.
Yeah, when I wrote about it, I was like, I said the background vocals are like fire, like perfect. And I just love the song, and that it's such a funky vibe to it. And the song, it gives me the feel of the first song it made me think of was Play and Don't Stop the Music. It's like that funky, that like that lick. So
I get that.
Which is another song I love, so it felt good to feel something familiar to me.
So, yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And then to have a young Jasmine Sullivan who we did not know on these backgrounds as well. You know what I mean? And they sounded so good together. Cause I think it's two other girls on there. I'm not sure what their names are,
Yeah.
but it's like they blends was so dope. And then to have not Tom Bell, Tony Bell.
Tony Bell.
Tony
Mhm.
Bell blessed them with the production. Right. Maybe I need to. Hold on a second. Tony Bell blessed him with the production because y'all know he did production with the Stylistics and Teddy Pendergrass and Vivian Green. He did some on a love story. So it was just like this Philly vibe is all up and through this record. You know what I mean? So that's why I loved it. I love Surrender to Love. I just love how it really starts the album off. You know what I'm saying? Giving you that love and feeling. So that's what I love.
It's like for me, it's just words of like affirmation throughout it. And then it's like you giving up on love, like you ain't even tried, you ain't even, put 1 foot forward. And it's like everything that she's saying in the song, she's like telling you about love. She's like, this is advice for me and you. So we all in it together. It was sort of that messaging, and it's just that's what I love the because we probably gonna get to. I'm probably gonna mention it multiple times as we go through the tracks, but it's more of like the affirmation of it, of just the repetitiveness of the lyrics. That's what sticks with it. I think that's what great songwriters do, is that they can distinguish between, okay, we can establish melody and we can establish the groove in terms of the melodic and the nuance of how, like you described in the background vocals, but we can really get to like in terms of the songwriting, really affirming these messages in the song by just allowing that spirit of what we're bringing to surrender to love. Like we're really going through the process of what that is, and and they're not like trying to say you gotta have love, it's just like, no, it's inviting. It's like inviting you to love. It's like, hey, I might want to fall in love, because the way you presented it to me, in this record, it's like, hey, just try it out. It's not like a trying to force you into it. That's why it's beautiful. Man, listen, I'm getting too excited.
No, God,
jumping into, I was like, it just, I love this record just for the album title, but just everything about it is just quintessential, just ascension of like getting into the depths of the emotions of love. It's like the way they describe it in the song, because love it's like the only way. It's like this is the only option, is love, and if you surrender to that feeling, it's man. But yeah, go ahead. I'm getting too excited. Get too excited.
And I'm glad that you mentioned regarding the songwriting about the of repeating the chorus a lot. That's a through line of their songwriting. Every song on the album, like over and over, and it's like, and think about the names of the songs, like those choruses are important. They want you to hear that. It's a mantra. Kind of think of the song title: Surrender to Love, Rhythm of Love, Far Away, Weather the Storm. Like, this is what I'm trying to get you to get from this. If you don't get nothing else, you don't get that line.
Right.
To edify you.
Agreed. Woo! Break it down, y'all.
Lord have mercy, Rhythm of Love, and Asia. Her tone on this song, it feels like a warm hug. And
man,
JR,
a velour blanket. Good God, to the soul.
Yeah, and JR, you like to yell horns on stuff, but this song right here is, I'm gonna yell percussion. That drum is the drums is doing a thing, and at first it seems subtle, and then you see the switch ups and how, and you're like, but it makes sense. If it's the rhythm of love, it better have some fun drum shit going on, or what are you even doing?
I say that because I'm like, the bass and the drums to me is like everything on this joint. But lyrically, Loving You is a dance. Like who writing like my favorite line on this, we speak without no talk.
Mm.
That's some love right there. Like we don't even
for
have
sure.
to speak. But
yes.
like what I mean. And to me, I think again, this is like I feel like this album is telling the story of love. And to me, like this part is like the beginning where you both love each other, but you're not really saying it, but your actions are telling it. We're in the same rhythm. You know what I'm saying? We got the same vibes here. Like it's going like you bouncing, I'm bouncing. That's how I felt about this. You know what I mean? And just how dude is playing the hell out of these drums, yo. Like at least you write like shit. Cause in the beginning, it's like very semi, and then it goes to I'm like, dude, it's
and then JR, you know why else I love this song?
Wow.
The tempo changes. It's a little more subtle than most of the tempo changes that I be going crazy about. Yes. But ooh.
Yeah, it's a reggae offshoot. It does. They incorporate that a lot in their. You can feel it. It's not so much subtle, but that's the beautiful thing about Philly musicians. They can tap into so many different styles, and they have like sort of a dramatic, like you know how like you do film, like when you see films and it has like sort of those dramatic scenes and those dramatic moments. Philly musicians kind of have that style. Like even when you go back to Philly International, like when you hear those records, it's like, it got, it just, the production is like how he did Lou Rawls, dum, 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 dum. It's a moment. It's like creating, they're inviting you again. The rhythm of love, like you said, is such a good play on words with what the instrumentation is doing, and also what they're expressing in the lyrics, like loving you is a dance, and if there's a chance, I want you till I die.
Want you till I die. Like,
listen, that's that rhythm, and it's like you don't have to communicate that, because you could be like, if I'm with my guy, we could be in a room and we not speak the whole time, but we're connecting, we're doing things, we're just in each other's presence, and it's just a rhythm. It's non-conversational, it's non-conforming. It's just we're like, it's a rhythm of love. That's just what it is. It's just you just fall into a pattern together that's without words, and you just want that around you. It's just I think that rhythm of love, what, like you said, with Asia, the way she comes in on that, it's like, man, wanting you is exciting. It's also enticing. It's also giving like lustful, but it's not like full on like oh, I gotta have you right now. It's like it's just alluring. It's like a alluring quality to the lyrics. It's like want you is exciting. It's sort of a, like we kind of got like a high school type of crush type of thing, and it's just the way she wrote on that first verse. It just pulls you in. I love it.
Jesus
you know Christ. What else is a secret weapon on this song?
What?
Is his ad libs, because he's on a very it's almost like he was singing his normal volume, and like maybe it was turned down like slightly, or maybe he was singing lighter. But it was just dope because you still had the strength and the growl of his voice, but it was really smooth.
Yeah, he's playing with the percussion of the instrumentation of what he's following. He's like to like he's just playing around with the cadence, with the instrumentation. That's what's so dope about it. And he has sort of that. You could tell like some songwriters that had that, because you could tell he wrote for like BBD, like that's their background. He came in right for BBD, so that whole hip hop style, he kind of still brings that with his cadence. Like he's not really singing sometimes, like just talking it out, like talking through the record till I die, and he's just really playing with the cadence of it. And I love
it. Well, it's Poogie. Poogie is the one that's playing the drums. That's the one that's playing the drums. He's playing the drums on it, which we love, because me and Elise love that how he played the drums on Erica's Live.
Mm. Oh yeah, I'm super music nerd with this because I love my favorite part is when it gets to the ending and the music is fading out and Asia's still ad libbing
Oh,
and she's hitting that high note and then he's still slowly playing that rim shot and it just goes that rim
yes,
shot
yes.
fades out. It's my favorite part of that song.
Y'all some
Super music nerd
nerds.
stuff to the listening audience.
Y'all some music nerds. I don't know who y'all is.
Yeah.
Y'all.
Found my tribe. That's my tribe.
Okay.
That's my tribe. Music nerd ish.
Like real life. Yeah.
Real life.
And then we get into Far Away, which I brought at the beginning. Now, when I say I ain't like it at first, I don't mean I didn't like it for years. I disliked it for years. I just mean like, you know, maybe the first month that it was out.
Not the first month.
But it got me. And now it's one of them songs that just lives forever rent free in my head. I think about that song a lot. Like it when it gets stuck, I'm like every day, all day.
No, what get me is Patine.
There's so many parts. There's so many little nuances, little like stuff that they doing. It's I'm like, how's that not?
That first verse when he talking about tired of paying taxes, sir.
Listen.
He could have said that like he could have said that like Aerosmith. He could have rapped that. He could have belted that note out like Nat King Cole. He could have sung that any kind of way. He said tired of paying taxes, sir. Tired of sending emails and faxes. Tired of crooked cops. Black folks complaining that
the crime won't stop. I wanna. Okay, I'm sorry.
What a goal. Yes. Place where lovers go, do the things that lovers do. No stress.
No stress.
It takes me back. I remember exactly like when we were talking about earlier what we were introducing. It just takes me right back to when I first heard it, and then getting older, and then even during quarantine, I definitely was playing that a lot. And I remember I would drive just like 30 minutes, an hour just to get out the house, and I was like, let's go far away, and I put that on repeat the whole time. But yeah.
And then it's something about the way that she is singing on it. It's like I don't know. It's a very kind of soft, sweet, especially opposed to him. But on this song, because he's doing his good like power singing on this, right? But she came into it with like a gentleness, but it's still like strong. But it's but like with a feel of an apprehension or like a you know, like but on purpose, you know.
Yeah.
And that's their rhythm and that's their flow as songwriters, because sometimes when he starts a song, she'll come in with that finesse, because that's like if you just look throughout their discography, like certain tones they kind of just have that chemistry together as writers, and she'll come in with that tone like you said. It's just a testament to just great songwriting.
But he like no getting no ass until the baby sleep. But even then, it seemed like we trying to creep.
Yeah.
And then in this life they gave you Sneaker Freak.
Hey, look, man, that sneaking said it be when kids is around, when you raise your children. Listen, you gotta get it in when you get it in.
You gotta get it how you get it. So that's
sometimes it be Disney. It might be NFL or something going on in the background. You might be watching the NBA game. Look, hey, it gotta get it in when you get it in. You gotta be quiet. You like, hold on, are they coming? You gotta.
It's so real. Oh, you can't.
You gotta make sure. Hold on. Stop. Don't move. Hold on. What's going on? Okay, we good.
Yeah, that's why that's why the song is so real to me.
Right.
But it's so crazy because taking it back to the VH1 Soul thing for me, I remember watching the video all the time and I said, wait a minute, I remember seeing them before. This ain't the first time me seeing them. I'm like, wait a minute. I said Jill, because now when Jill comes up in the video with and music and what's her name? Renee from Jeanne was in it. And
Mm-hmm.
what was the girl's name that sung with music? Aries, is that their name?
Aries.
Yes.
That's yeah,
I think
Aries.
so.
So they all in the video. So I'm like, I knew I saw they was in the way. They was in that
Mm-hmm.
video. And they was in the Gimme video. So I was like, oh, I knew I saw them before. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
it was just like that, but the video was just so dope. It's so smooth. You know what I mean? And that's what I really liked about the video. And that's why it was like every time it came on, I just wanted to see it. Like I just like,
Mm.
far away from here. And then they
Well, you
make you
got to
want to
see.
sing along. You know what I
Well, you
mean?
got to
So,
see it a lot because that was their
baby,
flagship song on their VH1 Soul. For
listen,
sure.
listen, all the time. And that bass is hitting in there. Shout out to Bobby Watson, who done played with every damn body. That done played with everybody. And that, do, do.
You know
I'm
what,
like,
John?
well,
So you know how I famously always fuss about videos and blah 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 blah.
uh-huh.
But this period, snap a neo soul period, is some of the best production value videos that out there. Like I like videos from that period, like Erica's videos, Jill. You know, I like that
Mm-hmm.
little snapshot of videos.
And just to think that Hidden Beats didn't have a lot of a budget and they still were crisp and fun to watch. It wasn't cheap. You know what I mean? Like,
But Philly, what full of artists? Think about the thriving artist community. Y'all gonna put together a video that's gonna look like something.
that's true. That's very true. That's very true. That's why I love the video. Hell, I like seeing it now because again, it's so special to me because it just reminds me of VH1 Soul, which I feel like we need a lot of that now. You know what I mean? Because that was how we were able to get artists that wasn't getting played like that on mainstream radio. You will always see them on VH1 Soul if they had a video. You know what I mean? So that's how we were introduced to them. So that's why I will always love this song because of that. You know what I mean? And again, it's just a great video. Everybody up in it. You singing along at the end. You know what I mean? And they take the beat out and you just singing along. And it's just dope. You know what I mean? So I think Far Away is such a dope joint. But yes. James Boyd's on them keys, though.
Yeah. And they were friends. Fatine and James, like their whole connection, the Roots connection, and all that stuff. He's connected through. Even when Erica, he did. What is it? The Other Side of the Game. You know, they were
Mm-hmm.
connected through there too. So Fatine and James Poyser. So that connection, that Philly connection, is deep. With you
Mm-hmm.
know that whole conglomerate of like Soulquarians when that whole thing started to pop off. And I really hate neo soul. It's just
Oh, you know I hate it
my
too.
god,
Yeah, I get it.
fucking
I get
hate
it.
it. It's just because it's just, of course, Kedar created it for Erica, and it really started with her, and then they started to flip it with Maxwell. I mean, with D'Angelo, and then when D'Angelo's came out, Brown Sugar, then it started to be coined. Then they when Maxwell, and then people don't know Maxwell's first Urban Hang Suite was actually shelved for 2 years. It
Yes.
came out in
Yeah, we
Yes.
'94, and
yeah we
Columbia
talked about
shelved.
that on our
But
D'Angelo
yeah, and it's like, why?
episode.
It's not new. It's not new soul. Like, so why are you labeling? And then, but yeah, I just hate it because it boxes like Kindred the Family Soul in to
It
that,
did.
and it's just live instrumentation. That's the
Yep.
only. That's the only difference it was from that climate from like Bad Boy. When you get to hip hop and R&B, what they were doing is just a
Yeah.
sonic went from drum programming to live drums. That's it.
Right.
But I'm with
Right.
you on that. I like neo soul. It just it makes me cringe every time I hear that fucking word.
Yes.
You know what I compare? This is just a thought I just had. That's what I was like. So Ken Kendra the Family Soul is to R&B what Little Brother is to hip hop. Of
Mm.
I agree.
of the of being under the radar, but with a very very loyal fan base that's been with them from the beginning and don't ever go
Mm.
nowhere. Support them and everything. That's one similarity. They talking about grown just everyday issues and stuff in their songs, like their
Mm-hmm.
life snapshot, just grown people shit.
Mm-hmm.
you know. And then with it being two, and like it's a lot of they're giving a lot of the same energy. They talking about the same thing.
Yes, and I
Mm-hmm.
think too, going back to the whole thing of neo soul, that's what I think kind of put a damp on this album. Me and Elise was talking about that before we got on, and I was like, this neo soul that everybody was boxed in, eventually something new is going to come along, and people are going to get tired of it. People are going to get tired of this neo soul thing, and by 2003, everybody was tired of it. And it was kind of like with them getting boxed into this neo soul thing, it ruined it. It ruined because imagine if this album might would have came out a year or two before then. It probably would have did so much better mainstream wise because everybody's on it. You know what I mean? But by 2003, everybody is like, oh, this new thing is coming in. Like the Ashanti is coming in. The A. Marie is coming in. It's all new production coming in.
Beyonce.
Beyonce solo.
All the girls. Yeah.
Like it was a whole new thing. So by 2003, it was like, we want something fresh. We want something new. And I think them coming out in the beginning of 2003 was a little too late because of that neo soul thing. And I hate that. You know what I mean? Because if they wasn't, this album, I think it would have did so much better if they wasn't in that. Because when you think about Kindred Family Soul, everybody go, oh, neo soul. It's like, no, man, like
they just R&B, yo.
They just R&B, yo. They just music. Like, why are y'all doing this? Y'all categorizing them and putting them into this thing where it's like, no, it's just music. And that just goes to show me that you did not listen to this album if you're putting them in that. Because this album is not, right. Now it has a thickness to it. Don't get me wrong, that all the neo soul artists had. It had that thickness, but it wasn't just that.
They won't talk about the same things.
No.
What? Eric and Jill won't talk about just everyday life. Maxwell won't. D'Angelo won't.
Music wasn't.
Mm-mm. They won't talk about the same
thing. Nope. But they boxed them in, and unfortunately, they couldn't weather the storm from that. You know what I mean?
There.
Spot up.
I've been around.
There we go. I love
girl.
that.
I've been
That's
around
fantastic.
you too long with your segues, y'all. Because Elise is awesome with her segues. So
that was a great segue.
Yes, whether it's baby horns.
Oh, you beat me to it. I wrote it because I was gonna yell it when.
Oh, girl, you can yell it many more. You got many more times to yell it. Yes, ma'am.
I wrote a lot about this
song. Yell it out.
I wrote a lot about this song. First off, this song is one of my favorites on the album for sure.
Of course, it's mine.
And again, this is a Fatim. He kills this. He ate down on this. Like,
yes,
this song,
he did.
As far as I'm concerned, he the star of this song. Sorry. Like, what he... I don't... And the lyrics of it...
Uh-oh.
It says, so fly, be an angel if you gotta.
Oh,
take the stars and the clouds, put them in your pocket.
Put them in your pocket.
And bring them back for me.
Just don't be gone too long. That's it. Just do what you gotta do. And then just make sure you take it with you and bring it back with you. Put it in your pocket and bring it back with you.
This is what people don't sense to understand. Weather the storm, through the bad times. It's gonna be tough, but we gonna weather this joint together. You know what I mean? And this joint to me was so dramatic as the type of production, like the storm behind it. You know what I mean? Them talking in the beginning, and he felt he was about to cry because he was like, I don't want to leave you. Like, it was like dramatic like this. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of gave me like an Isaac Hayes type of production to me. Very
for
dramatic,
sure.
very beginner, like walk on by, what he did with that. It gave you that because they wanted you, and the production of this, you had to feel like you were in a storm with them. It was like, yo, we weathering this thing, but we gonna do this joint together. So to hear the storm behind them, like, hey, listen, this song is
But
everything in the horns,
the
period.
crazy thing about it is, I don't even. It's like we're weathering a storm, but it don't feel like it's a real battle, you know. Because when he says in his verse, he's like, "Your love, that's giving me giving me encouragement. That's giving me strength and confidence to do what I got to do." But that's the thing about it. It's like, even when they're talking about like the little hiccups or whatever that happens in relationships, when you're in relationships, you have some kind of, but it's not heavy. It's not a, oh, I want to go, because you know, like when you hear certain records, like your blues records, it's like, my man did this, that did that, and it's like, we got to keep going. Why we got to keep going through this? It doesn't have that feeling to it. It's still like, that's what makes it inviting to want to love, because it's like, even the hard times, it's not that tough, because we're just weathering it. It's just, oh, it's just something we go through. It ain't nothing. Like, you know, like if you had a bad day, it's like, oh, it'll be all right. We still got tomorrow. It's sort of that thing. It's like, it'll be all right, you know. And that's the inviting thing about that song. That's why I love it the most, because it's like, we're talking about real life things, because we have 24 hours in a day. We can't spend every day together, but even when you're gone, it's like, you're gonna be back, and I'm cool. We're good. I know you don't want to go, but you still got to do your thing. Here, we still here. But yeah, that's what I love about it. It's just even that weathering the storm, that's still inviting. Like, I still want to love just the way you're describing it. That still feels like love to me.
Real.
Yeah, it's too real. I'm like, that's why I feel it so much. Like, being an adult now and fully getting the whole concept of it, when you really understand love the way they're describing it, it's like, this is what it's about right here. Like, this is partnership. This is what, if you would build a foundation on something like this, I would their version of love versus all the songs I've ever heard about love, their version of it, I rock with it.
Yeah. I'm with that.
Beautiful song.
Yeah, that's the amount of times I ran it back when I was listening for us. Yeah. And then we get we
is a
oh, I love that.
And I am, you know, former spoken word person, so I like idolize.
Yo, this song takes me back to 2003 so much, because that was the era of, because it was like a resurgence with like All Def Jam, where it was on HBO, and I was heavy into that, and so it fit in, and it has that flow of it when she starts speaking poetry, like, we is love, and self-love is love. It's just the way it flows. Yeah. I'm like, this takes me back to that. Take me back. The high school years.
Yeah, I seen Ursula live. But I was in that whole thing. I was a spoken word artist. I was going a lot of different places and got to see a lot of people when they would come through town or in the vicinity. So yeah. So
those low tones of, oh, my bad. Go ahead, JR.
Oh, no. You good. I was just gonna say, musically, this song, to me, the instrumentation really makes this record for me. You know what I mean? Where you got Lil Jon on them drums, you got what's his name? Chuck Treason on the bass.
Chuck Treason.
Yes, you got him on the bass. And for me, this gave me the feeling of a Maxwell Urban Hang Suite, the vibe of it. So it gave me the moment I want you. It had that thickness of that, and it gave you that kind of sensuality of it. You know what I mean? And it gave you that, and it was just kind of like, oh, it had like such a sensuality to it that really like I just love how they're both singing on it. You know what I mean? Like, it was just so, we is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and that low tone of fatigue, that's what I was going to point. That's the thing, because Asia has that perfect pure alto tone, and with that you can't really go high, because where she's at in that song, that key, she's kind of up there, but she's still like melodic. So he goes under that in such a perfect marriage blend with their voices, because he just fits it in there, and it just blends so well, that bottom note.
Yes.
Beautiful thing.
Yeah.
He's just you and me is a beautiful thing. It just flows. Oh my God.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes.
I love when we have musicians, like musicians on the show, because like when we talk to Zoe or when we talk to Mark, and now when we talk to you, it's a level of detail.
Yes.
You can't explain to somebody if they don't get, you know.
Like, she got the part where he did that, and that's why normally people would not get that. You know what I mean? So that's how I was like,
because musicians, we have to pay attention to that. Yeah. We got to pay attention to that whenever we play, and it's like, especially when you're a music director, it's like, okay, when we're fitting songs in there, it's like I have to be inclusive. I have to be into what you're doing. Music, like with because if the lead singer, if they're singing soprano, then I need somebody to sing bottom notes, because that's going to bring out the richness of their vocals, because they're supporting the lead singer. So we have to, and the way they're just allowing the poetry. That's the center focus of the song. So it's perfect that they're just playing around. That's the pocket of it. Is they're just playing "We is a beautiful thing." Again, the affirmation, just the repetitiveness of it. We're trying to give you that message of we. That's the partnership in the surrender. That's the key to the surrender, is understanding mental, physical, spiritual. We're connecting in the we. We're connected. And they're like, the poetry, self-love, talking about self-love. We're talking about just that journey. Just to talk about that during that time period is big, because who was talking about that discovery of self in 2003? You worried about the hit record, like you mentioned, the Ashanti's, maybe Alicia Keys with Diary of her debut album. She may have been, but not like this, not in this way, in terms of partnership.
Abalabo shop. Come on, somebody.
I'm so hyped. So let me tell you something about this. Is some hella sequencing. So you go Weather the Storm, then and then you come into one of the fucking best songs in the universe.
Listen.
Universe.
Ooh.
That song. One thing I love is to see somebody else listening to that song and see how it kind of hits everybody, kind of the same.
Man,
when them opening notes,
I'm gonna go last. I'm gonna go last, because I'm not even gonna jump in. Go ahead. I'm gonna let y'all do y'all thing on this one, because I gotta go last on this one, because it just I can't. Woo! Woo! Stars. It just, oh my God.
I know.
Go ahead. I ain't gonna say nothing. Y'all go ahead.
So y'all can let me go first, because I am. Because I know Elise loves this record. So for me, I love it because, first of all, this is the type of song that I would want to dance to on my first dance if I ever get married. I would love to dance to this, because y'all know the first dance is always slow. It's always no, I need the groove on my first dance, for real. I don't need no slow kind of shit, yo. And this joint, yo, is such a groove. And Dre and Vidal gave them the right production of this. Clearly, they like Stars. Hello. Then the year later, they give Usher Superstar. And don't it kind of have the same vibe?
It do have the same vibe. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, yo, this song is just dope to me. And then the video, y'all. Like, I love the video. Asia was pregnant, and it was like real life it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this album, just all of these songs was just about real life, but it was about love. And this song is just everything. Like you had Ty Tribbett's brother on the bass. You know what I mean? He was going off. You know what I'm saying? So like this song is just dope. So I'm gonna let y'all go because I knew mine was gonna be little because I know Elise loves this record. And Q, the vibe you gave me, you was like, yo, I'm gonna go last. So I was like, let me go first. So y'all got it. I'm good.
Thank you, Junior. He's such a sweet co-host.
He get being courteous.
Right.
Every element of this song is dope as fuck. Lyrics, check.
Yep.
Instruments, check.
Yeah.
The mic's his own, check. Arrangement, check.
Yep.
Oh. But I'm just gonna start with the lyrics. I don't know where to go because it's some things sonically happening that are fucking phenomenal, that are just out of this world, like the stars. But like, yeah. This opening so many times. You could have walked away, but you didn't have to say a word to convince you to stay.
Yes.
Because you know, whew, and I know this thing is real. So we continue to learn. And grow deeper still.
Grow deeper still. I wish I could say that. I should have gone.
Each day I watch you get better at this moment. I'm more and more convinced. We trusted love. We took the risk. We ran our own pace. We done our race, and I could never turn back.
Oh my God!
Oh my God! So far, stars look up to you, baby. Oh man, don't make me go. Listen. Oh my God.
Y'all see why I went first? Y'all see why?
Asia's voice. Go ahead, Elise. I'm getting too excited.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And a part of the lyrics and how they sing said lyrics that felt very like vulnerable. And this is the part of the song that like makes me start welling up. Like, knew we can do it. I always knew it. That just like,
yes,
it's like,
yes,
like no, I had the confidence, and I knew it. Yeah. It was a foregone conclusion.
Foregone.
And always look at me the way you do today. Like, who's writing like this?
Treat me like a friend. Listen to what I say. I'm with you all the way. Girl, I'm with you all the way.
And I
could never turn away. Woo.
Come on, somebody.
God.
It did. He come in with that good ground that takes you to the next movement of the song.
Yeah, it's that bite. It's like that's how you feel it. That's where that feeling come in. He's like, I'm meaning that. Yeah.
Like on that part of the song, like I start getting like a knot in my stomach. Like I get excited. Like I'm like for like every time that song has never lost its luster. I guess like a star. That motherfucker still bright in the mud. But that shit went triple diamond in this household.
Oh, it still is. Oh my God.
Yeah, oh Lord.
You'd say welled up on that. I well up from the start when Asia. Let me just explain something to the audience. Is certain singers, like you have those, like certain people gravitate to certain sounds based on their childhood experiences. Like if you grew up in the 80s, then if you love R&B, then you love the Mickey Howards and Melissa Morgans, those that came from that church and they used that to, utilize their sound. and they were just great belters. And so your ear is attuned to that. My ear is attuned to that as well. I can feel that and it's resonant. But when you can give me a sweet tone, not just your tone, but it's everything about vocals is about note placement. It's about knowing where you can go in the song. And that's what makes them so great craftsmen when it comes to songwriting, because they know the moment we're gonna pace through this song. We're gonna give it a moment to breathe. And then when we get to this bridge, it's that space where it's like I could never turn away. And even from the first verse, Asia comes in with that sweet alto tone. When I tell you I'm hooked into it, just the pureness of her voice makes me cry. From the start of the song, I'm crying as soon as the song starts, because she's like, so many times we could have walked away. Like, I feel that. Like I feel like every word she's singing, like what Mary J. Blige does in all her records. I feel every word, and certain people feel like you have to do certain things. Asia has the purest, and people can debate it. People can, disagree with what I'm saying, but for me, she has the purest alto tone I've ever heard in the music industry. And for her to have that kind of emotion with song, like I believe it because I know y'all married, but just the conviction of how you singing it just fills my soul up. It just a velour blanket around the soul, them vocals, man.
Yes.
Shout outs to Asia for this. Oh my God. I can't get enough of it. I cried through the whole record. And then when it gets to that bridge and they're going off, it look up at you, baby, when she's ad-libbing in that. She's like, my heart. When she says my heart, tears. Oh my God, yeah. I'm crying. I'm already, lay me at the altar, God. I'm giving my life back. I'm talking to Muhammad, all of them. They got me speaking to all the Muhammad, Allah. I'm talking to Allah. I'm talking to all of them.
I love it.
Got my feet at the altar. I'm laid out. You understand?
I know that's right.
Talking to Allah, all of them.
I love it. Right here and next to you. When they fade out.
Yes. Oh my God.
Right here and next to you. I'm like,
yes, that's what made me cry.
You better sing that song all the way to the end.
It's just the way they ad-lib together at the end of that, when they come out of that instrumentation, that and playing around with it, and just the ad-libs, like you could tell they were really singing to each other, and it's like you mean that. That's what the ad-libs, that's what I love, like what Anita Baker does with Tony Braxton, the way they play with them, like they felt that, they meant every word of that. And it's like I could never turn away. These stars, they looking up. We so high in this love. Like we so high, like we not even on the surface with this love. We so far up because nothing can't break that. Like that's an unbreakable bond. Like when you're up in the stars, just that simile, just the way, that metaphor of just being in the stars, that means we're not even coming, like we're not worried about this. We're not, anything in the world is not breaking that, because we so connected. It's like, man, that's love. That's real. Walk down, like you said, walking down the aisle, or our first dance reception, wedding reception, first song reception, love right there. That's powerful.
Woo.
Yes.
Y'all went off.
I'm getting flustered too, because that song is just, when you feel love like that, it's like it just touches you in so many different facets. Oh, I love it.
That song too good. It's not even fair.
Right.
It's not.
All of those elements, like.
And how they, like y'all said, them going back and forth on their ad-libs, it sounds so natural. Like you said, they were singing it to each other, and it was real. You know what I mean? Because it's sometimes when you got people ad-libbing that it's kind of, you can tell it's forced. It's a forced ad-lib. It's like, all right, yeah, that was forced. Them two, you could tell that whoever clearly we know who the producer was, Dre and Vidal, they probably was looking like, well, damn, okay, all right, keep this in, okay, all right, they going off, let them be, you know what I mean? And for them to
she
be
said,
songwriters and you know, they know their own record that they write and they want that feeling. So that's what you want. You want to feel, especially a record like this. The stars, hell, I want to be there. Hopefully I get there. Hopefully soon.
you gonna get there, man. You gonna get
Thank
there.
you,
It's right
thank you,
there for
thank
you.
you, thank you.
Listen,
Oh,
they
man.
gave the whole manual right here in this
They really
album. You
did.
gonna
They
get it.
really
Yeah.
did.
They gave
All
you the
of it.
manual of it.
Yeah. Like
Yes.
She said, my heart is right here next to you. That means we good. That means everything. This us. We in the stars, baby. Ain't nothing breaking this. I feel it.
Nothing.
Treat you like a friend. Listen to what I say. Perfect song. One of my favorite songs just of all time. Just point blank period.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
All right. Then we come to I Am.
Oh yeah.
Well, I wasn't the biggest fan of it at first for me.
Oh wow.
You
At
know why?
first. Now that I'm older now and I listen to the album, because again, lyrically,
Teenage boy.
right.
He was not supposed to like that song.
I wasn't supposed to like it. I really wasn't. I was only what, 2003. I was 17. So it was like, what are they talking about? Like, I'm like, huh? So it made me start paying attention to more of the musicality of it, you know what I mean, and all of that, not lyrically. But once I got older and really lived with the album, I'm like, this album about self-love. It's about loving yourself, but obviously it's to women. You know what I mean? But it's also speaking to men because it's also about self-love and loving yourself. You know what I mean? So it was like, I got it once I got older. That's where things started making me think, well, maybe some of them songs that I did like when I was little, I might not like them when I'm older. You know what I mean? Because now I'm living with them and understand them. But this record did not know, because I didn't know. I was like, that's not Asia. I don't know who this girl is, but I know this ain't no. I was like, this ain't no Asia. I was like, I don't know who this girl is, but I was like, okay. And mind you, I was just like, let's just listen to the album, but come to find out it's Jasmine Sullivan. And I'm like, now I go back, I'll be like, look at how Jasmine sounded in 2003. But yeah,
And
I
it's
rock
still
with it now.
beautiful. It's
Yeah.
still, I mean, we're listening to it like, even like when I casually listen to the album, because I listen to it all the time, I feel it. That first verse when she comes in, I look in the mirror and she see that power. It's like recognizing that power. And even just from retrospect, how old she was to even affirm that at that age, like how powerful that is. Like,
Right.
because she could just be manifesting her career, like everything that she had to deal with growing up, and the fears and everything that she had when she talks in interviews about it. Just that song, and they have their own special connection years later, still, and that's probably a great memory for her. Like, and you could just tell the just how she's approaching the song, like how serious she was with her vocals, and just everything about that, like you said, with the self-love and the affirmations. It's powerful the way she came in on it. And I love that they gave her that moment to do that. That's so cool, because most artists want to be the center focus, and that just shows you just how open they were to having somebody younger than them, like somebody that young, having those moments on their record. And this is their debut. Like, it ain't like their season. I mean, their season in terms of songwriters from being in the music industry, for Teen in Asia, they had their background. But I'm saying this is their first debut album, as a duo. And you want the center focus to be on you, for them to share that with her. That's just beautiful.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. No insecurity at all. At all.
Yeah.
At all.
And this song, lyrically, I said it's little sister or big sister is Woman First on the In This Life Together album. Like, topically.
Mm-hmm.
And actually kind of sonically, they match. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of my favorites on that album. So
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, great song.
What's that?
Family song. We are a family like a giant tree. You had all them on there. Jill, Bilal, music, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And all them to blend like they do, because everybody can't blend now. I want people to understand that too.
We're not doing this again. We already cut up on the podcast.
Right, we're not gonna do this again. No, I'm not gonna do
Right,
it.
right, right, right. He about to go back. He about to
That's
revert
right. I'm
back.
about to go back. Yeah. Elise saw it. She was like, no, no, we're not gonna do
Reese was
this
like,
again.
sound like she did a cassette tape rewind, a VHS rewind.
Nah, we're not doing this. But yo, they sounded so good, and I just like that how music and Bilal kind of went off at the end, and Jill is just so soft under it. She not doing no extra. She just soft. But you hear her, she's heard. You know what I mean? But she's so soft, and then Bilal and music kind of doing the runs and vocalizing and all this. And Jill is like so monotone and like,
Again,
but I'm
Fatine in
still
that
being
sweet
heard.
pocket with that bottom note. His
Yes.
bottom notes.
Yes.
And that's the thing about Fatine. Because their experience live. Whenever they might invite Jill on if she's in the audience or somebody like that. They know how to just do their thing. Like they're so open to just like giving other people the spotlight. Like they know their power as singers, but he falls in when he gets into that pocket with them low notes. Fatine is a beast. Like there's not many male vocalists that can really blend that well with those bottom notes. And he's probably the one that I can think of in the music industry now, just over the past 20 years, that can hold his own, not just as a lead vocalist, but just playing that pocket. And that takes skill, not as just like a songwriter, but just a real vocalist that can do that. Because a lot of people like to have the shine, but that just lets you know, just characteristic wise, personality wise, how him and Asia are. They don't mind, like we said with I Am, like just playing, knowing how to write a song to accompany or be the lead. They know how to. That's masterful. That's masterful writing. You know.
Yes. Agreed.
And all those great artists at the time, like you're talking about, like of course they're friends and they've built family bonds with each other, just being in the industry together. But just for you to share, once again, sharing your debut album with already established artists. Like that's some Babyface. Like Babyface did that with, like with Mariah, with Shantae Moore, with, just Mariah Carey, like all those Lyndon background. Like he's established artists and he's just laying down background vocals like it's nothing. Like even in current time with Anthony Hamilton's, I forgot which record was it, Pray For Me. He's just on the background, just singing. Even with production, it's just that just shows you, like when you have even Angela Winbush, established artist. I'm laying down these backgrounds. I'm just doing what I can. I'm finding my fit in this song. I don't have to be the center focus of the song. That's masterful. And a lot of people, that shows you true character of not just an artist, but just you as a human being. That's why this album, Surrender the Love, resonates, because it just shows you I'm surrendering. It's so many different ways you can interpret it. I'm surrendering in different kind of ways. Melodically, just how I'm carrying out these lyrics, I'm surrendering. It just I feel it.
Yes. And for them to do that, it just reminds me. Anytime I think about that, I think about an interview that Chucky Thompson did, and he was like, he wished he was able to record when he said you had Faith come in. You had freaking Mary coming, KC. They just singing. They not worrying about nothing. And you had Duran at the keys and all of them. And then you had David Hollister coming in. And all of them, he said they sounded so good. It was just like they were just right off the street. It really didn't matter. And they were just singing. Like it was a family joint. And every time I think about
Mm-hmm.
this song, I think about that interview because he was like, I wish I could have recorded. I wish I could have had a moment where people could
Yeah.
really hear that all they blend sounded good because he even said he was like, a lot of people can't blend now, but they were able to, and to have, like you said, Jill and music and Bilal and all them on there, they're established. But like you said,
Mm-hmm.
they're surrendering. Like, yo, come on in. Like, I'm showing all the love. Let's do this.
That's right. Yeah. Surrender in the love. Like, no, white folks.
Yes.
I'm there.
All right. Right. So that's how I love this song. And then they singing a song that I think everybody knows. Well, every
Yeah.
black. We're gonna keep it there because like Elise said, this
Right.
album just wasn't for them to try to mainstream. This ain't that album. If you was gonna try to do that, it wasn't gonna work. This is not that album to
I
try to
think
mainstream.
it was just the climate. It was just I mean, because it only played on certain, like you said, the VH1 Souls. They kind of just didn't like. They played it sometimes on BT and all that, but it didn't really. They would play it on Midnight Love, like that would be
Yeah,
late night, like midnight, like 11, 12 o'clock at night.
right.
Kindred the Family Soul would play like all those, but
That's
yeah, it was
you.
just a lot in terms of, like you said, it was a transition because even Joss Stone came out, like a lot of people like that's another one too, but
I
people
love
didn't
her.
really.
Love her.
Betty Wright, come on, man. I mean,
Yes,
Ray
yes.
Angry produced on there, The Roots, Amir and Ray Angry,
That's
they did their
also
thing.
when I knew that there was also gonna be a switch in music because it's always a switch. You always know
Yeah,
when
that
this
was the start
switch
of
is
it. Yeah,
happening. And this 2003 was like, oh shit, we're having another switch. It's no
yeah,
longer what we
for
were kind
sure.
of getting accustomed to. It was happening. It was a switch. It was like,
That because
oh,
Joe put out an album. Yeah,
yeah, so it was so many people that was like putting out albums, but it was like what BET was playing. It was like, oh,
yeah.
this is what we're pushing. You know what I mean? You're gonna see a lot of this. You know what I mean? So that's
See,
when the
and it would have
transition.
fit on 106 apart. And now think about it, that didn't really fit that demographic. So they wouldn't really,
They
if
wouldn't
it
have.
now, because that was primetime TV right there. If they were like on the videos like during the day, that probably would have helped push them to the next level. But again, they
Mm-hmm.
were playing it for the grown folks. Grown folks, Midnight Love. Them love hours. They was playing the Dina Howard nasty grind during that time. So she get her female D'Angelo. How does it feel on half naked on? They ain't playing that on 106 in Park at
No,
1 o'clock in
man.
the afternoon.
Nah,
you
not at
know,
all.
that's too grown.
Not at
Kindred
all.
Family Soul is grown. This sipping wine grown. You know what I
That
mean? This
part.
ain't the.
That
I'm
part.
I'm in high school at the time when it come out, but I'm into it because I'm into D'Angelo. I'm into Jill Scott. I'm into Erica. I'm into Joe Thomas. I'm into real R&B. So kids they listening, like you said, the Shanties. It all had its place, but they
Mm-hmm.
didn't play it for the main audience. So
No.
you know, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, all right. What do we have next?
What happens now? That's a favorite of mine. Favorite of mine because it's like an alert to me. This is a song that it's like, pay attention. This is like a Marvin, what's
Yeah.
happening, brother, to me. This is what this song was. It was like, pay attention. And it was like, it's time to give you some wisdom. That's what I
Right.
got from this record. It's a wisdom type of record. And it was like he was explaining what's going on in this world, but y'all need to listen. You know what I mean? And I think that's what kind of what Marvin did with what's happening, brother. That's why I kind
Mm-hmm.
of connect those two. And when you want somebody to be alert, the drums have to hit. That's just what it is. If you want people to pay attention and something, them drums got to hit. So I definitely have to shout out Richard Patterson for playing the hell out of them damn drums, just for you to just pay attention to what's being said and what's being spoken.
Well, I'm sure that I get the impression that it wasn't intentional of drawing on that Marvin. Like like a it felt like an homage to me. Actually,
Oh,
with it being called what happens now, like even from the title.
Right. So what's happening, brother? Right.
And knowing how they know music. That Teen is a DJ, as well as producer and all of that. Like, yeah, I'm sure nothing happened accidentally.
Yeah, influence is all up in there for sure. Like, yeah, yeah,
Was not
yeah.
happenstance.
Right. But yeah, it's a favorite of mine for real. Love this record.
Yeah, Asia. She come in. She's saying y'all trying to ignore it. He's like ignoring it. It ain't going. All these things going on. You gotta see what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Pay attention, people, and the song is timeless because we can still listen to it today and it works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like that's another thing about timeless
And then
music.
for Teen. Oh, go ahead. My bad. I mean,
No. I'm finished. I was just like, yeah, it's just a timeless record for real. So.
And Fateen's talking about his fears of like his son's getting old, he's going to get older. And so he's talking about that too, of like what's going to happen, when he gets older. He's, being reflective of that in the verse. So yeah, for sure. It's resonant, just like
this too, also, I want to say with this too as well, everybody, the comparisons always start with them being a couple. So it's always Ashford and Simpson. You know what I mean? It's always that. That's what kind of everybody goes to. But to me, they give me more of a Donnie and Roberta. To me, I get more of that than I get from Ashford and Simpson. I get that. You know what I mean? Because,
right.
Oh my God, it's just kind of like this also can remind me of when Donnie and Roberta doing Trying Times too. And I can see, because they both did it separately, but I can see them both doing it together, and this can be that record. You know what I mean? And I was just like, it just had that depth that, you know what I mean, that, Roberta and Donnie had. So that's what I like about it too.
They're like the aggressive version of that.
Mm-hmm.
A little more straightforward.
Yes.
Like lyrically with the pen.
Yes, absolutely. Agreed. I love this record. Like, it took me, like, for real, when I first heard this record, it took me like 4 or 5 times to get past it. Like, for real.
Yeah.
Like, and there ain't hardly even no horns on this joint, but I love
right.
I love every song on this album.
Yeah, you did say that. You said that.
Yes. I love the subtleness of the message, and it's like, because sometimes with messages they give you, it's like in your face, and like you said, with the bass and the drums and the horns, like funk records in the 70s, they would hit you with it, like Isley Brothers, what they did with My Music's Too Loud. It's like, people on the pace it, don't.
Yes.
It has what they did on this is just that what Asia Fatigue, because they did this one note. You remember how'd it go? I forgot how that run, but yeah, Asia does it and he does it again, but it's just that flow. Like what happens now is just that, like that's a cry out, like in slavery days when they would moan, like during devotion, like even getting to Baptist church, and you would moan just to give that emotion. That's sort of what I felt with that. It gives it a whole new
gave that, and he gave that
ancestry type of vibe,
Yes. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Then we get Meant to Be.
Horns.
You got real James Brown with that. Hit me, horns.
Hello, Fred.
Hit me. Dirty D. Hit me in D.
Yes.
Dirty D.
What?
Hit me. Come on, Clyde.
I hate it here.
Fred. Come on, Fred.
Yes.
You're moaning too hard. You're moaning too much. Who back there moaning? You're moaning too low.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is good sequence too, because now we getting a little bit more, even though they love a good rim shot. I love them. I love Kindred the Family Soul. they love them a good rim shot on records because it's such an unappreciated percussion sound with the drums. I love a rim shot. I'm a drummer. So by heart, that's my first instrument I learned how to play. I play the piano and organ too, and guitar and bass. But that rim shot, you get a good rim shot, man. But it's a little bit more mid-tempo, meant to be. But listen, Asia's concept, I could tell she wrote that chorus because I could tell who wrote it, who's ever leading it. And it's just, she be in pocket. She be in pocket, man. Oh,
she came in just vocalizing. Like, she came in just vocalizing. Like she like, let's do this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just like.
She had a stunt like that.
Right. Like, she was stunting. Like it was like, Asia girl. Yeah. She was like, ain't nobody gonna do this. Ain't nobody gonna do it like me.
Right. Like, she flowing with that bass line. That bass line, don't. Put my heart on the line.
Listen.
Meant to be. Oh.
If you did not know that they were in love with each other and it took you forever and obviously something wrong with you. But if you get to this and meant to be and not feel that these two love each other, something ain't right. Like, you missed the whole damn album for real. Like, but if you got to this, yes, done. Like, how the hell? So when you got to this song, it was just like, you knew you can feel the love that they had for each other through this song. You know what I mean? And again, it gave me Roberta and Donnie's "You're My Heaven."
Yeah.
Yeah. That I was just like, I was like, yo, and the back and forth that they were doing. Look, Asian, they just, listen, I just love them. They just dope as hell. Like, I don't even know what to say about them. Like the musicianship on this, and then like them just going back and forth, and she stunting on them hoes in the beginning, like stunting. like Elise said, she is stunning. Like, who vocalized coming in like that? That's why I was just like, girl, you ain't have to do it like that. Like,
that classic Philly sound. Like,
yeah,
that horn section. Oh, that belt break is crazy.
Listen, what?
getting a James Brown on right there.
Listen, I was ready for him to come in that song and yell Fred. I was ready for him to say Fred. I was ready.
Fred. He gonna let him blow about 3-4 choruses. Don't moan too much. I love when you say that in that record. It's so funny. Don't moan too long. Side note, I don't know why people say they couldn't understand James Brown, because musician wise, I mean, I guess because he just making the shit up on the fly, but it's like, put me in D. He just talking about the chord change. He's like, okay, we go hit that. He just wants the drummer to do it. He's like, That's how musicians talk though. We don't never use words. It's like, we just say words and hum stuff. You're like, yeah, we're gonna do that 2 more times. Oh man.
Love it.
And then we come to
of my
other favorites.
Go ahead.
Of this album.
Yeah.
Contentment.
My top favorite from the album, personally. My God.
That song, the care of that song, like, it's so.
That's what it is.
It's like
those damn wind instruments. That's what do me in. That fucking
There's like a fragility.
Those wind instruments. It's just subtle.
It's almost like a fragility to it. Like it's just handled.
Yes.
It's
a journey.
It's so intentional and I can't. It's song is exquisite.
Agreed. And the way she attacks it differently than every other song on this album. She attacks
Yes.
it and she sounds so damn sexy on it. I'm sorry. She
Mm-hmm.
does. She sounds so sexy. And I think, yeah, me and Elise was talking about it.
And you're right.
Today. And I was
Just
like,
how she got in that first verse. Woo.
yes, it just reminds me on like how Coco did Rain. How they attacked it
Yeah.
both. Like Coco
Yeah.
attacked Rain so differently that we normally do, but a record like
Mm-hmm.
that, she sounded so sexy on. Asia sounds so sexy on this, yo. And it was just like, it was so warm. You know what I'm saying? Like it was
Mm.
so warm. That was just, like Elise said, it's perfect. And she dedicated this to him. You know she dedicated this to Auntie. Like you knew she dedicated. It's like she was like, yo, she found the gift of love in him. Like, whew, let me stop, man.
I watch you play. I'll hear you
Song,
say it. It's just the way she goes into that note. It's just inviting. She's like the contentment.
Mm.
It's everything with the lyrics. It's like it's expressing like satisfaction at its whatever that looks like to her. And I love
Yes.
that she's the center focus of the song, and she's expressing that contentment. It's just go ahead, Elise. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
yeah. And this song, it's like this song feels like a light wind, like
Mm,
or like a sea, like a light sea breeze. It's like you
mm.
weathered the storm from earlier, and now you're at this contentment, and it's just breezy. And that's why you have what woodwind instruments on it, because it's supposed to feel airy and breezy.
Yes, like them guitar strings, like just them guitar strings, like you said, it feels airy. It's just handled with so much care. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just,
Mm.
like oh,
And it's
shout
like
out to
she's
Randy
mimicking the wind
Roland.
instrument with those.
That's
Oh, that shit right there.
Oh my
Don't get
god!
me excited talking about contentment. That's my top favorite and my top three on that
Wow,
album.
Elise,
Good God
Elise
Almighty.
said that shit though. Oh my god! I know Fontaine. I know Fontaine looked at his wife like, "Whoo." I'm like,
But then in the
after she
lyrics, she
finishes,
was
like,
like, "Could we be a little
yeah.
more
After this
mature
song
so
is
this love
done,
can endure?"
we got some things we need to do. Hopefully, the football game ain't on because we need to do some things. But
You
that's what
like
he said.
contentment with we gonna get this loving cracking off
Right,
after the
right,
game. That's what you talking
right,
about.
right. Oh god.
But yeah, that's deep. The lyrics are deep though, because it said, let me pull it up. It said, "Could we be a little more mature to ensure this love will endure? The gift of love does not promise. So at night, I still pray you'll always want this." So yeah, man, that's deep.
Lyrically bold. Like,
yeah. Oh,
And you do need all that to for it to just where you content where, because who want to parent their spouse or whoever you with, significant other, who wants to parent? Because you basically a parent if both y'all, going through stuff and you got don't do this, don't do that. It's like we gotta mature.
mhm.
We got stuff going on. We gotta, that's what's gonna make us ride this out if we both on the same page and we both understanding each other. That's how we get the contentment. Well,
Right.
come on, Asia with this man, Asia fatigue with this songwriting.
yeah, and
Listen.
the song it gives me because of like the airiness of it. It's just giving the spirit of Minnie Riperton feel in the room.
Ah,
It's just
good
giving that.
one.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
that is a strong song. Lord.
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for
Mm.
Oh God, love it. Love it.
And they talk about
While we
growing in
try to
love.
spread the word. about all this. We try to spread the word. This is what you need to be on. This.
Hilarious.
What a segue.
You just segued it perfectly.
Yeah, she did. Now, this song just reminded me of just Philly International to me.
Mm-hmm.
Mother, father, sister, brother, paying all over this. Like, I got like Clean Up the Ghetto. Like, if anybody knows that record with all them on it, the Philly family on it, this is what this is. And let me tell you something about this horn section. You got a saxophone, you got a trombone, you got a damn trumpet, you got all that shit on this. Now this absolutely my favorite song on the album because you got all the damn horns on this. I was in horn heaven.
You love that horn.
I was all day. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, wait a minute. You got a trombone? Wait a minute. You got a saxophone? And you got a damn trumpet? I was like, shit.
Y'all see JR pop up out the damn chair.
Now he popped up like a gingerbread man.
I know y'all seen it. With a live chat. Tell me if y'all seen it too.
Are y'all serious? I popped up in my chair for real.
You like that.
Like a jack in the
box. Like that. He said you popped up like a Pop-Tart out the toaster.
I'm sorry. I was just like, yo, I think the next, yes. Probably the next 4 songs is all like horn bass for me. So it's just like, I get hyped off this. And then what I got from this, because we talked about compositions with Keith. And remember how we said that how Anita let the instruments, like she let the musicians get the love. Everybody got love. The bass, the guitar, the this, the that. Everybody on this joint got love. Everybody.
She wouldn't be the singer. She was another instrument.
Yes.
In the band. That's why she played well with the band.
Yes. This just, it just gives me like a 70s vibe, but it had a 2003 swing to it. Like they made it current. They made it completely current, and it was just a beautiful record. Shout out to what's his name, Jared Miles, that played the trumpet. Who else? What's his name? Jeff Bradshaw. Y'all know he done played on everything. Like he played on everything.
Icon, right there.
Like, oh my God,
Philly icon. Yeah.
Icon. You know what I mean? And then you got what's his name? Damian Barrett, that played on MTV Unplugged. He was the one that played the flute on this. The nice little flute in this joint. Like, yo, like the instrumentation of this song is just everything. But clearly y'all got to see how I got hype over the horn. So I'm done.
And shout out to Ivan Duque too. He's legendary, right for Dells and Boyz II Men. He did what was it? Water Runs Dry. That's one of my favorite Boyz II Men songs.
Yeah,
that. Co-wrote on it.
Yes.
He's legendary too. Legendary production. Yeah. And songwriting. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I'm sorry.
He got that horn. He's like, them horns are sticking to my
yo, I was waiting for my moment.
Got to spread the word about them horns.
Cute, yo. Q-Lin said you popped up like a Pop-Tart, yo. Nigga.
I can't wait to see this playback because I can't believe I did.
He popped up. What's the name of that other pastry? The ones that you heat up in the thing. He popped up like one of them. The one they put the icing on. He popped up
like a toaster strudel, though. A toaster strudel. Oh my God.
My niece and nephew be eating that. He popped up like a toaster strudel.
Oh Lord, I cannot wait to this live chat. This live chat gonna be ridiculous. They're gonna go in on that. Oh, Jesus. Oh God, but yes.
I love it though. The energy. It's the energy for me. Yes. The energy for me. For them horns.
Yes.
Patine could have really did a James Brown shout in that one.
He really could have.
He could have. Cause he play around with it sometimes live. He'll play around with some James Brown in a live set. So
okay.
yeah, they do. JB's doing it to death. I've heard them do that live before.
Oh.
They started out the show with that. It was crazy. Yeah, y'all gotta see them live, man. They
I would love
experience.
this.
Kindred Family Soul is everything live.
I lose my mind.
Everybody know how I feel about James Brown. That is my spirit guide.
Her response to every text message is with a James Brown.
James Brown got that.
That's my man's in them. That's my folks.
Listen. He got a different energy. There was a time, that's my top favorite James Brown song, the Apollo live version.
Listen. Woo!
He get new musicians in line. He like, There was a dance. There was a time. When I used to dance. He just making all these random noises.
Yes, getting them in line, shorty. Like,
feeling good.
Oh man.
And now my
horn was playing in the back, but it's cool.
No, but I wrote something about the
snaps
horn
when
in
that
the
come
back.
on. This should have been a Love Jones. This should have came out during the Love Jones era. I feel like doing one of these.
See, you upset about your horn in the back, but that horn, I noticed that horn. That horn.
You do.
That horn was exactly where it needed to be.
Yes, because it didn't have to be too loud. Because if it would have been too loud, it wouldn't have did this song what it needed.
So no, that was perfect.
Yeah.
And you don't get a lot of horns in the back. So.
Yeah, it's jazz. That's that.
Yeah,
the jazz improvisation. That's what it is. It's just a conversation. That's mostly what jazz is. It's conversation. So that's what this is.
Yes.
If I
smiled at you, would you stay with me? If I made a place for you, would you lay with me? The lyric, like one thing about Elise, that thing focuses on a lyric. That's why I knew that listening to this album today before we did the show, I was like, yo, the lyrics is nothing to play with. I like, even going back to when I was listening to it when I was 17, I was like, back then I was just like, oh my God. Like you know what I'm saying? Like this, yeah.
Man,
like,
she talking about just laying there and laying beside him. I don't have to see daylight. Like, do you know how comfortable, like, it's just like when you talk about love, like it's all encompassing, meaning that I like being around you. Like it's not just this romantic, like low hanging fruit of love. It's like, no, your presence, I need that. And it's comforting. And it's like, I like you like that. Like for you to like somebody in your space to want to be in the bed all day with, like I gotta like you for real. Like not just love you, I gotta like you. Because at some point, because it's like, damn, it's too hot. Get up off me.
Right. Like, go brush your teeth. It's like, go brush your teeth. Your breath stink. Like, go. Like I love you like that.
It's like, I want you in my space. I don't care about daylight. I don't care if it's tomorrow already. I want you in my space. That's love. That's real love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a line that took me back to Rhythm of Love was, if I dance for you, would you groove with me?
Loving you is a dance.
Back to that.
Come on. You better.
Like the dance, remember?
Connecting the dots.
Okay. Like the dance. But yeah, the writing is so stellar.
Yes.
It's too good. It's too good.
Too good.
Yeah. And then we get some interlude.
Mm-hmm.
Entertain the peoples.
Yeah.
what you say? What mommy and daddy do? Entertain the peoples.
A little baby
I
voice.
love it. They put their son down on it. I love it. I love it. Then what's the don't
don't
want to suffer. That's
That was one of the
funky.
songs that on the sampler. That song.
Funky as hell. That's like on some JB's Rufus once you get started type of vibes. Like that's what I got with that. Like, yes,
Big vibe for sure.
yes. It's just like again. Oh, anytime I'm hearing a lot of this, the horns with this, I be wanting James Brown to just yell Fred. Give me that. Like I just want that.
Fred.
Fred.
We back there.
I ain't gonna go too far. I'm gonna stay right there. I'm staying leveled. I'm not.
Fred.
I'm gonna stay level. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to James Poison, y'all, for producing this joint for real, because it's so funky and it's just so dope. You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, let me go get my afro and my bell bottoms. Let's do this. You know what I mean? That's what this type of joint is. I love it. I love this record. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's funky, very funky.
It's all the way funk.
Yes.
It's that them collard greens, them spoiled collard greens funk right there.
And party's over.
It's another favorite of mine. And I saw on like a lot of reviews that people didn't think it fit. I was gonna ask y'all, did y'all think? I was fine with it. You know what I mean? I was fine with it. I think it gave you the vibes of how it started. Like they were giving you that Black Lily type of vibe. You know what I mean? That's where they came from. So they was like, yo, we gonna give y'all that feeling to have, Malik B on it. You know what I'm saying? You had Jasmine Sullivan on the record. Like it had that Black Lily vibe. You know what I mean? And I thought it was just so dope to me. You know what I mean? So, I clearly James Poison used obviously, the programming horn in this one. There was no really horn playing. He used the ones that probably was in the keyboard for real. Yeah. So that was about it. But again, this song is dope. It's really another favorite of mine. It's a groove to me, and I think it works. And I just think you're ending the album.
I want to ask him about that. If it was like Dilla inspired, if it was like if it had a Dilla connection with it. Because it gave me a lot of that. That's one question I need to ask them.
Yes. Ooh.
If they watch this,
let me know.
Hopefully, if Fatine or Asia, if they watch this episode, if they can answer it, I would love to know what was the inspiration behind that on the album.
Yes. Put that in the comment section, please. We appreciate it.
Right. Twitter, Instagram, wherever. I know they on Instagram.
Right. Whatever.
Right. Let us know. I want to know. Personally, want to know.
Yes.
Yeah, then we have Freedom. Clap your hands.
Yeah, Freedom. Asia sounded so damn good. Just period. Like, what more do you say? Like, it just was like
just period.
Yeah, period. Like you just sounded good. Like Asia did what she needed to do. It was like she coming
against. They already hit the Saucy Santana, the City Girl. Period.
Like that's done. It. You know what I mean? Like it was just like, all right, here she goes. She's stunting on them hoes again. Like it's like,
fact.
There you go. Basically telling her husband, loving you is freedom. Like, ooh.
A line. Like you said what now? Huh?
Loving you is freedom.
Confused? Like
what? What?
I love that fade out going into because she's just saying loving you is freedom, and it's just fading out. That it's just and it's taking you clap your hands. It's going.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Greatness of an album, like just amazing. You feel the love all over this. You know what I mean? Like it's just if you want to know what love and because I think we did an Apartment 5B episode, and Kill was asking, he was like, when is the last time like people actually did an album about love? And it's really thick love. And mind you, I couldn't think. And then after we got off, I was like, fuck, I should have said Surrender to Love. I was like, fuck, how did I not think of that? Because this album is just the love of the music, the love of who you with, just the love of everything. And I just think this album is just so amazing. And I'm so glad that they made it. I wish other people would have, got onto it. You know what I mean? But how we talked about in the episode on how things kind of didn't work for that. You know what I mean? And how they was kind of categorizing this certain thing and music was starting to shift. So the younger ones wasn't really on it because this was too grown for them. So they weren't connected to it. Their parents were, you know what I mean? And it just, they didn't get a lot of promotion that they should have. But again, this album made them get a loyal following, and like we're fans of it. So for us to talk about it, this is just epic for me. Epic.
How y'all like the Rhythm of Life? The last one, the King Britt remix.
Did you?
I love it. Listen, they do this live.
Maybe that's why I need to see it live.
It's sure house, because I'm a house fan. I'm a house head. Okay. That's why I love it so much. But
okay.
When you hear this live, they start off the show. They go from Rhythm of Love to this. They transition to this live. The fucking listen. I'm trying not to cuss on y'all podcast, but
girl, please. Girl, please.
It's my introduction. It's my introduction to your audience.
Girl, please.
I don't want to know too much, but Rhythm of Life.
Some people that love to cuss. Me and Elise love to cuss, so you good.
But the house, it's just the house instrumentation. It's just very much giving house, and I'm such a fan of it. It's just a different, and it gives a different tempo. I feel like it was just a great end because it just embodies everything. Just repeating the Rhythm of Love, but it's just the house instrumentation just goes off. It's just I love it.
Right. Man.
This album, Surrender to Love, it's just everything. And the beautiful thing about it is learning, of them being a Muslim faith. It's like you don't even get that, like, because usually people like that would add that in there, but that just shows you just how open, because I study different religions, and so like reading the Quran and reading the Bible, they all have similarities. And so when Quran, it talks about surrender, it talks about it in the Bible too, but people look at surrender like in terms of like military. They say like waving the flag, white flag and all that stuff. But this surrender in terms of like spiritually is like mental, physical, and just spiritual, just not conforming to love. It's just, you just open. It's not controlling. That's what makes this whole album inviting, because they're not presenting love to you like, oh, we had to have heartbreak. We had to have all this tumultuous stuff and toxicity to love each other. It's like, no, we love each other because in order for just the concept of that, we have to surrender it. And that's even outside of relationship, like surrender, like all the differences in the world, whether if you're religious backgrounds or spiritual, whatever you believe in, you have to surrender to the ideas of the past, of your biasness, of what you made up in your head of, oh, I'm going to judge this person and I'm going to have my discernment because you live this way. It's like, no, I'm open. Like, even when they're talking about social issues, it's just what's happening now. It's like, just open your mind, just surrender the thoughts of what you think something is, of how not judging somebody and not that. And even in a love sense, it's just like, I'm accepting all of you. Just who your being is. I love that. And whatever preconceived notions, even with the first song on the album, it's like, look, brother, I know you done been through some stuff, but have you gave love a try? Have you just seeing if it works for you, because I'm going through it too. So this song is for me and you. It ain't just, I'm not just talking about love just for me, just from my perspective. It's like, hey, you may want to give it a try, because just be open to the possibility of love. And that's why I love it so much.
Love push a man.
Yeah. It's just surrendering to old concepts of what you think, whatever past trauma you have. And if that's your person, I just love just you, the essence of you, and the way they describe love, even like, because like I said before, the downs, like weather the storm, that doesn't sound like, oh, I'm hurting, or I like, like, I want you to go, like, baby, baby, please, like the begging, Keith Sweat type of love. Like, you have that perspective of love, but this perspective is, you know what, you doing your thing, just go do that. I'm gonna be right here, and just my heart's always gonna be with you. And so just come on back, and we gonna keep it going. And it's just, that's how I interpret it. It's like, if, like I said before, if I rock with love, if I had not couple goals of Fatine and Asia, being a fabulous R&B duo, it's not that it's couple goals. It's just that this is inviting. Like, if I had to write an essay, if I was in college, and like what a real true love felt like, or what I perceived it to be, I would write a whole, research paper on this album if I was in school.
Nice.
It's just a beautiful, especially when you experience love in every facet of how they're describing it. It's like, this is beautiful. This is like all encompassing. This is all, I just want to surrender to love. It's a perfect, it's not conforming. It's not, I'm controlling to love. I'm not relinquishing to love. I surrender. It's just, you're willing to give it. You're willing. You're open to it. Yes, it's not control. It's not control to love. Surrender to love. And that's beautiful, because then you're more receptive to it, because it's like, you gotta love me. Like, like we mentioned, we are a family, like with Jennifer, with the both Jennifers, with Dream Girls. Like to me, I would want to love like that, just from my perspective of, you're going to love me. Like, I don't want a forceful love.
Right.
I'm staying, you're going to, like, that's not inviting to me.
Right.
I don't want to have to I don't feel like I have to sacrifice for the love. I just want to exist in it, That's what I feel like surrender to love is. I just want to exist. I just want us to coexist together, and just build upon this, because I know it's going to get better. Because even at the end of the song with Freedom, just talking about that, just getting to that ending, she's like, listen, our destiny, this is what our destiny is. I feel like our destiny is us being together.
Loving you is freedom yet again.
It's beautiful.
And again, then you get into that breezy contentment, that airy, that.
Yes, you just want to walk on the beach. You want to hold hands and walk on the beach type of love.
Yes. Oh, that's the type
not thinking
love.
about nothing. Just
nothing.
Just each other. Just coexisting. That's peaceful. A lot of people don't really, because people always talk about hardship. It's just, can we just be at peace together? Can we just
peace together?
Be quiet? Like Jill Scott wrote about it. She was like, we could take a walk around the park after dark, or
just be silent.
Just be silent. Just be silent. We ain't got to.
That's God. Yes.
We could talk about the books of Quran, or the books of the Bible. We could talk about Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts, Romans.
Come on, you better.
Corinthians, 2 Corinthians. We could talk about Surat and Quran. We can talk about. But guess what? We can be quiet as well. That's an option. I was like, yes, Jill, you better write with that pen. You wrote something right there, ma'am. You did something with that. Talk about just be silent. Yes, I take that option. Let's just be quiet. Just occupy silence.
Yeah. But I think that sums up, like, that's the drop the mic of the album. It's living together in peace. And shutting up sometimes.
Just be quiet.
But speaking up when it's time. You know what they call that? I think they call that balance.
Ooh, ooh, that's a word a lot of people don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
But yeah, you know, just
Yeah. Mm.
keep on the way.
Period.
Waves. Yes.
Waves.
All right. Well, now we have come to my favorite part of the show. What's my favorite part of the show,
Song
JR?
association.
Hey. Hey.
Oh. And today, so at first I was gonna like give you like songs that were from 2003 that did well to give a context of what's going on sonically. But we've talked about another 2003 album, and we covered what was going on in the mainstream.
Mm.
So, and because I know your depth of music knowledge, I want to give some albums with the same feel, or you know, all folks that were affiliated with each other in
Ah, ha, ha.
period. From 2000, between 2000 and 2004. So I'm gonna
Cool.
give you an album, and you tell me the first song that comes to mind when I give you the album. Bilal's Firstborn Second.
What's the first song I think of when I hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, Queen Sanity.
You
Ooh.
better get off this show right now.
One of my favorites off that album. I mean, I sometimes
JR,
it's a toss up
you know
between
how I feel
sometimes and
about
Queen
that
Sanity.
song.
Yes, yes, I know. I think everybody that we did a live with know how you feel about that song.
If I could block the moon and rob the sun from the sky. Woo!
That song,
I could
that
somehow.
song just goes through every emotion, and
And if the rain won't fade away, it's the journey of that song because he gives you jazz. He's giving you the journey of jazz in the verse, and then when it gets to that bridge, that how can you run this race and you never lose your path? That's he's taking it that gospel drive, you
Yeah,
know. And then when he gets, and then he's
then
just
he gets
playing with it, you know. It's
yeah, then he gets
constantly,
in a rock space. Like that
yeah,
song
for
is
sure. At the
raw.
end,
At the end.
that Prince in the Revolution
Yeah.
space,
That
man.
bananas. All right.
My soul is what you touch. Woo! That lyric right there, that touched me right there when he said that. My soul, I love you. My soul is what you touch. Oh my God.
Hmm. All right. Dwelle subject.
Oh, this where you call me out because I ain't a big I don't think I really went through his discography like that. I think I know
okay,
maybe one and a half song of his.
okay.
I gotta put you
Sorry.
on. I gotta put you on.
What's that one?
You probably know, probably just find a way. That's what you
That
probably
may
know.
be it.
That's what
Fine.
she probably
Dig
know.
it.
Find a
I'm
way.
sorry to all the Dwale heads. It's just it gotta hit me a certain kind of way, and your vocals gotta kind of. He didn't really. I don't know. I may have to. I mean, I gotta look into his discography and
Or at
see if
least
I
to
rock
put you
with.
on. But be clear.
Gotcha.
I think it's a couple songs. I think I am a fan of his. I maybe have like 4 or 5 in my playlist. It's just I'm not good with the lyrics, and so I have seen him perform live though. He did a show with Teacher Moses. I think he opened on that. I can't remember, but it was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen him too.
Yeah, he's a really good performer. It's just I'm not good with song titles. I maybe know about 4 or 5. If I really listen, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that song. But it's just because it was during that when he came out, it was like Dilla. Because I loved it because it was like that Dilla, era with, when John Legend was emerging and he was doing stuff with Slum Village and stuff like that. It was sort of that. So yeah, for sure I know it, but it's just, I don't think I really sat, now I think about it, I don't really think I sat with his discography like that, like I've done with other artists. It's just like with Music Soul Child. I haven't really, like the first album, the first two albums, and then the one he did with the So Beautiful single. I like that album, but I haven't really listened to music's full, or Indie Rees either. I need to get into that.
I got you, sis.
I'm about to give you a whole playlist on Spotify.
Yeah, you and my we'll chat.
Gotta send me the playlist on Spotify. I'll check it out.
Jill Scott, Beautifully Human.
Ooh. Isn't Real Thing on that?
No, that's the wait.
The first album?
No, the second.
Second. I'm trying to think. Shit. Was it Golden on that one?
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah, my life is golden. It's another one. That's not it though. I'm trying to think that what was all on that album.
Across My Mind.
Oh yeah. That song was kind of trifling though.
Those were the whatever was a single, right?
Oh no, that song is trifling, huh?
Whatever was a single, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, man, why are you? I don't think I've ever done that. Now I have thought about somebody. It's like people do cross your mind when you with other people, but I ain't never like. She went too far with it. It's like getting cologne. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna use this cologne sample on this new guy, but it don't smell like you though. It's amazing. Come on, Jill, don't be like that. Jill just got away with words. It's just like, ma'am, it's like I don't know if I'm hungry, if I want to have a round two session with somebody. It's like she got them kind of song lyrics that make you just like, man, you don't realize how she go deep in thought, then it be trifling. She'll have like little, I'm gonna say a little something that ain't gonna be that's gonna catch you off guard when you listen.
So wild, everybody realized like, no, she been
she been about that. She lets you know she'll take the earrings off. She'll give you peace and love, and then what'd you say? What? She'll give you that energy too. I love it. Was it Getting in the Way? She said that in the song, talking about she gonna put some Vaseline on and all that. I think it might be Golden. It might be Golden on that. That was a really great song though. I love that as a single. It was just so. I remember that song being everywhere on especially on the BET network. They used to play that video.
Listen, like all
day. You don't like it?
Mm-mm. I think it's the only song I don't like on the album, right?
Yeah. I wasn't a big fan of it either.
Or is it no, that's not He Loves Me is not on there. That's on the first album.
That's on the first. Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else is on the second album. Golden is the only thing coming to me. I'm trying to think what else was on there besides Cross My Mind. It wasn't was it Crown Royal on Ice?
No, that's on the third. That's on the third.
She got too many volumes. I can't remember all the volumes. It'd be tricky trying to remember that because she was dropping them joints back to back. It was like she go on tour. It's like, I'll go on tour. I'm about to drop this other album. She's like, okay, I'm gonna go on tour again, and then I'm gonna drop another album. And so all them Jill Scott era, that range she had for those few years, they all blend together for me. So I always get those albums confused.
Gotcha.
Because it's the volumes and stuff. It's the volumes that throw me off.
All right. And we have Mama's Gun from Erykah Badu.
Mama's Gun? Yeah. Ooh. The one with Betty Wright. I think of that one first. Shit. What's the name of that damn song? I listen to the damn album almost every time. I can't ever get the I want somebody. Kiss Me on My Neck and uh ooh, that's hard. Cause there's so many. It's the green eyes popping in my head, all that stuff popping in my head.
Of course.
I'm trying to think. Kiss Me on My Neck for sure. And the other song that Betty Wright was on, I can't think of the name of it. It's an album cut. That's what I think of. What's the name of that song? I gotta look it up.
You don't miss your buzz. I ain't gonna make
I'm about to look it. I'm about to look. It's so many from there. Because of course you could say Bag Lady. I like the album version personally, but the radio version is cool. But I like the instrumentation
go off, Elise. Go off.
That was a trigger. That was a trigger for me.
Really? Why?
I despise that. It almost made me not like the song.
Why?
It's too loud.
Really?
It's so loud for no reason. But on the album, you get a fucking acoustic guitar. Like, you went from this acoustic beautifulness to sure.
That's what it is. AD 2000. That's what I think of. I love
AD
Betty Wright.
2000. Yeah, because Betty Wright did a lot of background on the album.
And On too. I think of And On. Those are the ones I think of. And On. Mm-hmm. I love that. A Pisces in the thing. Raise the head. What she say? She's like an analog girl in a digital world. Love that. That's my favorite line from there. Woo. She was talking her junk on there. She was like,
yes, indeed.
Talk your ish, Badu. She's like, I'm gonna talk my ish on this one. She's like, y'all gonna feel me on this one. But yeah, And On, Kiss Me on My Neck, and 80 2000. Betty Wright, rest on it, Betty Wright. Betty Wright was just during that time period, like early 2000s, the way she was just so willing to help people on records, like with Joss Stone, like what she did on there. Just the backgrounds, just laying the backgrounds, like it's so effortless. The way she just knows how to assimilate and blend. That's a very hard. Not everybody. And Duran Bernard said it. I interviewed him a while back. I think it's resurfaced. He said it in the interview with Claude Kelly's "We Sound Crazy" podcast with Chuck Harmony and Phil with Phil, and talking about how everybody do lead. You know, can blend in background.
Yes,
and
I put that clip on mine. Yes.
Yeah. He said that on my old radio show, and I was like, that's the epitome of what Betty Wright is. She could flow, lead vocals, and then it just takes a level of skill as a background vocalist to conquer that. And that's why she could be a vocal coach, because she could teach that, teach that to Erica. She could teach that to Joss Stone. She could teach that to everybody. Just anybody, I guess, that was in Miami that wanted to. Because even Diddy, would use her making the band. You remember making the band?
When
he was trying to get those girls in line, Betty Wright.
Yes,
rest on her. She's dope. Angie Stone, too. That was a great album she did with her. So, yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, that's what I think of most. I love Betty Wright on that album. It's just her influence on there. It just added so much. But them 3 songs, Kiss Me on My Neck, Kiss Me on My Neck, that's a vibe right there. I was like, you talking my kind of talk there, Erica. Come on now. Kiss me on my neck. I want somebody to walk up behind me and kiss me on my neck. Dilla, come on, Dilla, with them goddamn drum programming. Come on with it.
Listen.
Woo.
Oh.
Yes.
We thank you for hanging out with us.
That was it. I was waiting for some more. I was like, what else you got?
She gave me that.
Giving me this retro classic soul with the loud and got me reminiscing. That was a pun. That was an unintentional pun. Reminisce.
And that's my favorite song on the damn album anyway.
I appreciate it. Thank y'all for having me on your platform. This was dope. Talking about one of the greatest, like, people say classic, but a real true classic is the how it resonates. And I think Surrender to Love, it resonates, especially when you can live with it and just as you experience life. And if you experience love in all its facets, I think Kindred the Family Soul, they do a wonderful job with every album. I would love to review every album of theirs. But they just what they embody in terms of how they convey love and what they did with Surrender to Love is just beautiful. It's just to captivate somebody during that time period with 20 songs. Like, come on.
Yes.
It's like that was such a rarity back then because you just ready to hit the skip button if it wasn't talking right. But it just flowed effortlessly. It just gave you that continuous vibe and lyrical messaging, great vocals, great penmanship, just effortlessly, just music ascension.
Yeah. Yeah. So, how can our viewers find you and get into all the goodness you got going on over there?
You can find me at Lynn Green, QLYNNGREEN on Twitter and Instagram, and also Soul Savviness. I don't really go on Facebook. You can go there if you want to. It is activated, but you can follow the Twitter Soul Savviness, SOULSAVVINESS on Twitter. But yeah, Instagram, hit me up on there. I'm very interactive on Instagram. Insta stories be popping, so I love going on there and talking to people. But yeah, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Lynn Green.
Yeah. And we thank you, and we also thank everybody that's hanging out with us today and checking out and let us really break down the album. I don't think I ever heard anyone have a discussion, nor that I've had a discussion really, really about. So this was really special.
Yeah.
But yeah, we thank everybody in the live chat, all of our cousins. Bring us some more family over here. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we will catch y'all on the next Catch That.
Peace.